Alright, I gotta look halfway decent for these guys, even though I just came out of the shed. Hold up, babe. Is this thing going? Oh, shit. Hello, my ladies, gents, beans, and everything in betweens. Tegan here with... Whew, this is a little bit different. This is a bit of a different video. So, I guess you guys could tell, like, from the title of this video, what we're gonna be talking about. And, yeah, I know, it's really out of season. We are way past the month of October. Halloween has passed, obviously. And we are in the month of November. And I know I can't even call this like little smudges or anything, but I asked for you guys a while ago, before Halloween ever came around, for a poll on what you guys may want for a celebration video for a specific milestone, because guess what, my beans? We have a Fandom Trash 1120 has officially hit 1,000 subscribers. I cannot say thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. I mean, honestly, when I first started this channel, I never thought I would get to this. I was, like, in the back of my mind, and I was, like, 13, it was, like, I was, like, hoping, I was, like, oh my god, I really hope I get YouTube famous, but that was, like, off, like, that was, like, a really, really, really far off dream, and I guess I'm not technically too famous, but anyways, I seriously... This wouldn't have happened without you guys. And I just wanted to say thank you again for all the support, the likes, the comments, views, everything. You guys are the reason why this channel is the way it is. And yeah, anyways, back to the point. So, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, the one night out of the entire year where kids can dress up and cosplayers actually blend in with normal society. Shh. And it's the month, and it's a time of spoopiness, and a night where parents drag their kids out way past their bedtime to get sugary sweets from total strangers. Anyways, so I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I am a huge Halloween fan. Like, I like the movies, but, like, you know, the holiday. See, well, how do I explain it? I mean, I guess it's always ever since I was little, when I was like the little tiny Cameron, little tiny bean that I was. I always loved to dress up. Like, I used to always, like, love to get in, like, outfits and costumes and just parade around and pretend to be a character, even when it wasn't Halloween. So, it was a great time, and then, but unfortunately also I had to take off the costume and then come back to reality, so... And I guess that's one of the main points that I loved Halloween, besides also the free candy. And, I don't know if I should really say this. I guess also is that I've only recently I've ever gotten into, like, the loving the creepy part of Halloween. Because when I was little, like the little bean that I was a scaredy cat. Like, literally, I could get, like, I would hear, like, the faintest sound, and I would just be like, just freaking out. And, yeah, I could never watch horror movies. I would just always be like, have the blankets over my eyes, almost awake at night, and just hoping, please don't let them, you're gonna get me. But I guess over the years, as I've gotten older, I've grown a stronger backbone, and I like scary stuff. Seriously, prime example, It. I've seen I remember when I saw the movie with my brother, my mom, in theaters, and honestly, I was really scared of it, like, terrified. I was, like, clutching my seat and, like, covering my ears, because of how scary it was. but not so scary as to the point where I couldn't sleep at night. But then when we got the movie on DVD, I watched it like constantly after we got it. And I remember vividly in one of my watchings, I was laying on the living room floor, movie playing, blanket, pillow, and I almost fell asleep past the 1 hour mark. Yeah, that's how far I've come. I've come from not being able to sleep after watching Nightmare on Elm Street to almost falling asleep to one of the quote-unquote scariest horror movies of all time. Maybe I have something wrong in here. Anyways, story time! Okay, so first story that always comes to mind was one that I don't remember how old I was, but I was like a really, really, really little kid. I think it was the year that I dressed up as Chicken Little, like literally I dressed up as a chicken but with glasses, Anyways, my brother dressed up as Ghostface. I think that's one of the only ones I remember. So, if you guys didn't know, like I live in like a woodsy area, but I also live like right close to where like there's like a little community like of like houses and stuff deep in the forest. Kind of it actually adds to the atmosphere, doesn't it? So anyways, yeah, I remember that me and my brother, we would always like go down and trick or treat. But I remember vividly this and nothing else. I remember I was going up to a house, going to get some candy like any normal kid would do on Halloween night. And I saw that the porch was lit, and and there was a chair and a guy was sitting in it. Yeah, I can kind of guess where this is going. And honestly, in my little tiny pea brain at the time, I thought it was just a prop. I thought it was just like one of those, like foam things like that they stuff with like almost like a scarecrow, whatever. And I was like going up, just going up, getting went to grab some candy, and all of a sudden, boo! He jumps out at me, and then I scream, and then literally run off the porch, and a few feet away from the house, my brother goes up there, gets the candy, and I'm still panting and it's like scared, shaking. And like when my brother comes back, I think he was like, well, "Come on, want to get some candy from there?" And it's like, I don't wanna. So yeah, that's a fun holiday memory. Ooh, okay. This one just came to me because, I can't believe I almost forgot about this one. So, as you guys know, as I just said like a few minutes ago, that I'm a huge like a Halloween fan, but I'm also a Disney fan. And when I was little, like because my family would go to Disney World a lot, and we would get like those little discs where they would like give you a preview on like the parks and stuff and what you can do there, and they also showcased what they did during the holidays. And one of the ones, because before then, we had been to before like this story ever happened, this moment ever happened, we have been to the parks on lots of occasions. We've been there for birthdays. I remember once Easter. We haven't been there for Thanksgiving because it's a little bit, or like, Valentine's Day or anything else. But we've also been there also for Christmas, which was an amazing experience. For me, at least, in the back of my mind it was. But one of the ones that we had never been there for was Halloween. And I wanted so bad. Every time I would see that video, I'd always pretend, want to go to Disney for Halloween, just like dressed up and get to go to like the party, because they had like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And because also for the advent of the internet, because I saw it at the time, they had like a parade and like just a bunch of stuff that made me just like go, I want to go there for Halloween. And wouldn't you know it, my family heard about this, and I think it was when it was, I don't know, like 14, maybe 15. They told me a couple weeks, like a couple months before, they said, do you want to go to Disney World? I'm like, hell yeah. It's just like, and then they dropped another bomb saying like, we're going to be going there for Halloween. You're going to be trick-or-treating there. And actually, no. Thinking about it, I was 13 at the time. Yeah, 13. Just remember that was still with the creepypasta phase. But I was freaking out. I just couldn't believe it. My childhood dream had finally come true. Dreams come true at Disney World. Anyways, so it was really, really awesome. I remember vividly, like because like my mom was sick at the time, and like going there was actually really, really, really expensive during the holiday. It was just me, my grandmother, and my uncle. We took a plane, which was my first time ever on a plane to Disney World, and it was just like that was an experience, and that could be even a whole another video. But whew, that was I cannot tell you how amazing that was. And to top it all off, I was going dressed as Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. And my uncle went as like kind of a Jack Skellington. And then we got to go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which was interesting. It was a little bit odd. And we went trick-or-treating. We had like these little bags, and we got candy from like certain places around, like at different rides at the park. This is specifically at Magic Kingdom, and it was that was really, really cool. But the cherry on top of that was that we waited. I had my family and I wait in a god awful line to go see Sally and Jack. Now, as a kid, I was raised on The Nightmare Before Christmas. I literally watched that movie so many times that it's been like almost every line of dialogue is ingrained in my memory. And so getting to this point and seeing Jack and Sally was like a dream come true. Lots of dreams are coming true. And we got there. It was so wonderful. It was amazing. It was truly, truly amazing. And then I remember as a second, and this was an interesting one, we actually got to go to Magic Kingdom again, but it was for a dessert party that was happening like on a right near the river, where you could see like one of the firework shows happening. And we actually, because it was happening during the hours of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and you had to have a ticket to get in. And the first time we went in, we had a ticket. But the second time, we were coming over from another park, and then they were like, and they almost didn't let us in because we didn't have a ticket. And it was just, and then my grandmother, I remember vividly, she said this. She was like, I have a kid here who is obsessed with Halloween, and you do not want to make her upset. Why would you want to make this little piece of heaven upset? But anyways, we got in there. We got to go to the amazing dessert party, and I actually had my first glass of sparkling apple cider, which my grandmother jokingly told me was champagne. Thanks, Grandma. And so, I feel like I need another one or more stories. Oh, here's another one that I have. So I have this friend. I won't say her name, just for the sake of her privacy, because everybody's about privacy nowadays. So my friend, who's a little bit younger than I am, but no better, no better alerts. I'm not, whatever. Um, whew. Anyways, she was a Halloween baby herself, whereas that she had her birthday was in the month of October, and last year, when we were still friends, her mother talked to my mom, and she invited me over to her house for her Halloween birthday party, which was awesome. But also, it was kind of weird showing up there because everybody else was in costume, and ya boy forgot, because that year I was going to cosplay as Different Pines. Ya boy here forgot his Different Pines cosplay, so I had to dress as Maleficent. But anyways, that was actually the party where I met two of my very very good friends that I know now from my high school, and I am actually really really happy that I got to go there, because if I never went to that party, I would never have met them. But I also remember there was like a lot of dancing, there was like punch and stuff, and like all kinds of stuff. And then to top it all off, because my I guess my neighborhood sort of has this thing where they do a haunted hayride. A haunted hayride throughout. You would go a specific route in your truck, and you would get scared by a bunch of these people. I remember that year there was a bunch of like clown stuff along this trail, and it was really really cool. One of my friend's family members came by with like a truck, and like a while later he was like, "All right, everybody, let's load up to go on the haunted hayride," and it's just like, "Okay, we're going on this." So we all got into like the back of the pickup truck, and let me tell you, I never went on a haunted hayride or anything like that, even though I came really, really close to going on one when I went to Sleepy Hollow once. That'll be another story. Oh wait, I forgot to tell about that. I'll tell that next time. Anyways, so we went on this hayride, and it was so cool. Like, I know it was like locally run, and like a lot of these guys were just like acting and stuff, but my god, that was an interesting and scary but fun experience. Yeah, that's an interesting one. And just as I mentioned I have one more story before I close this out. So, as you guys already know by now, I like scary stuff. I like, spookiness. And because of that, I've been also interested in local legends and stuff like that, listening to stories like Mothman, the New Jersey Devil, all different kinds of things, yada yada yada. And as luck would have it, one of my favorite stories is actually the story of the Headless Horseman, which takes place almost kind of, but not sort of, right near where I live in the state of New York. So, and I actually also remember this. This is another thing connected to Halloween. I remember that that Disney released like a short about that told the story of Ichabod and the Headless Horseman. I remember that I watched that constantly, just like, and I always was just like, and when I got into it, it was actually really really cool. And I've also seen like some of the other incarnations of it, especially like the Tim Burton version, which I actually say is, I think it's pretty good, despite it being like a Hammer horror film, which I don't usually get into. But I remember that vividly when I was like 12 or so. I think it was maybe 10, maybe. But I remember that my parents told me like a couple weeks before Halloween in the month of October that we were taking a trip down to New York and we were going to go visit Sleepy Hollow. Yay! So I was actually I was excited for this trip, and I just couldn't wait to get down there because my parents also told me that there was like different things that were going on because it was Halloween, and yeah, and at that time I was also dressed up, and I was actually like a red queen of sorts. I do not know why though. Anyways, so we had a bit of trouble getting down there. We were taking wrong turns. It was, just like taking wrong exits here and there. If any of you have ever been down to New York, it's it's a maze. And the thing is that we had to go through a little town called Tarrytown to get to Sleepy Hollow. And we were like wandering around in there and just like, where is Sleepy Hollow? And it's just like, it said, oh, it should be around here. And then we went to Tarrytown, and then we went up a little bit, and we went right into Sleepy Hollow. It was actually, the town was a little bit, that section was a little bit more historic, where it had like different, like buildings that looked very much like they were still from colonial times, and I saw like there was like a bunch of different things there, and there was actually a little thing going on right near the church. And I remember when I first got out, I was just like looking around, and I was so happy to be there. I immediately also started looking like for the famed bridge that was in the story. And then I was looking around, and I saw there was one blocked off, and it's like, oh, maybe that's the bridge. But then I saw another one, and it was like a really, really old, dilapidated bridge. That was like it wasn't even really there anymore. There were only like places like before like here and there going across, and it was just like, it was so creepy. So I went over there and I almost fell in. Just kidding, I didn't get to go over there because my parents kept me on a tight leash. But anyways, we got to explore around near the cemetery, supposedly that was from the legend. And I remember that there was actually a author there who was promoting her two of her new children's books. And I got to meet the author, and I got her 2 books, and both of them I got signed. Actually, wait, I think I still have one. Where is it? Yeah, here it is, right here. Here's one of her books, The Halloween Queen Who Lost Her Scream. And then I know you guys can't really see it, but there's it says to, oh god, it's too late. To me, best witches, Donna Davies. And I remember that was a really, really cool thing. That's the second time I've come in contact with an author and got a book signed by them. I'll tell you guys about the other time later. And to close this out, here I remember this is one of my favorite memories of when I was at Sleepy Hollow. I was actually because I remember, I think it was me, my brother, my uncle, my mom, and my grandmother were there, and we were walking through the cemetery, and we were actually following like these phantom hoof prints through the cemetery, and like they were marked in the mud, and me and my family were following them. Well, more or less I was leading them and they were following behind me. But anyways, I remember that when we were following them, and then all of a sudden they disappeared. And then I turned to my mom and was just like, where did they go? And she said, I don't know. Maybe it's a ghost horse. I am not good at building tension. But yeah, I think that's I think I'm all storied out for that. I'm pretty sure I'll have more Halloween stories probably later on to go through life. I do not know. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you... Oh, what the hell? I just felt something crawling up my foot. Ugh, okay, that's a little bit creepy. Okay, that was a little bit creepy. Anyways, I hope all of you beings enjoyed this video. Remember to slap that like button with your nose to show some support. Comment your thoughts on this story time, I guess, and ideas for future videos down below. Share with a friend, and of course, subscribe for more great content. And again, as I said in the beginning of the video, thank you guys so much for 1K subscribers. I honestly, and I'm sorry if I'm getting repetitive with this, but I honestly I never thought I would ever get to this point, and it's all thanks to you guys. So yeah, I guess that's it. I should actually really be going to bed because, wait, this doesn't have my iPod in it. I'm an idiot. It's really late, and I do need to get up for school tomorrow. So, anyways, until next story time, my little beans, I'll be watching you. Bye.